I thought it would feel strange having her back in our home. I expected the distance between us to show. But the moment she walked through the door, it felt like nothing had changed, like she still belonged here. And the moment I saw how he looked at her, I knew something was about to shift. None of us were prepared for what that would mean. Before we dive in, if you've been enjoying these quiet, complicated stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps more than you know, and it ensures you won't miss the next one. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the story. She kicked off her shoes in the hallway like she used to, like no time had passed. Even though it had been nearly a year since I'd seen her, she reclaimed every corner of the room in minutes. She tossed her bag on the couch, pulled me into a hug that smelled of sunscreen and faded perfume, held my face, and whispered, "God, I missed you." We opened wine before unpacking. My husband joined us. Half from politeness, half from curiosity. I could tell. He remembered her stories. The chaos. The charm. But I don't think he ever imagined her sitting in our home, not like this. She made herself at home fast, feet tucked under her, teasing him over dinner, laughing at how boring we'd become. I laughed too. But I watched. Because every time she made him smile, something inside me twisted, tight, unfamiliar. After we ate, she grabbed the sponge before I could. "You cooked," she told me. He poured wine. "That means I clean." She was always like that, confident, decisive, a little too comfortable inside other people's lives. Then, as she scrubbed a plate, she looked over her shoulder at him and said, "She ever let you rest, or do you do all the work around here?" I froze. He chuckled. I smiled too widely. But there was something under her voice that didn't feel like teasing anymore. Later, after her shower, I handed her one of my robes, a soft one I kept for quiet weekends. She slipped it on right there in the doorway, casually, without turning away. When she entered the living room, robe hanging loosely, damp hair falling down her back, I caught my husband watching. He didn't say anything. Neither did I. We stayed up a little longer. The wine softened everything. Blurry edges. Quiet laughter. Then she asked, casually, "Wanna be bad and all crash in the same bed? Like old times?" I laughed. So did he. And I said yes. The lights were off. None of us were sleeping. I lay on my side facing the window, eyes wide open. Behind me, I listened to their breathing, his, slower than normal. Hers, too even to be real. None of us were asleep. We were all just, waiting. The bed felt smaller than I remembered. The space between us charged, not loudly, but like static just before a storm. My skin prickled under the blanket. No one had said a word, but I felt the change. Not in the room. In him. Just a subtle shift in the way he lay beside me. Barely a movement, but enough to let me know he wasn't still anymore. Then the blanket rustled, soft, slow, careful. And then silence, so sharp it felt like a signal. That's when I knew. She had reached for him. And he didn't stop her. He didn't speak. He just let out this breath I'd never heard from him before. I didn't turn around. I didn't have to. She was touching him. And he was letting her. What shocked me wasn't that it was happening. It was how easy it was to let it happen. I stayed on my side, facing the wall, eyes wide open. The air behind me was heavier now, warmer. I could hear her, steady, in control. She knew what she was doing. He was between us. But I felt him turning toward me, not physically, but emotionally. His presence shifted. Like he was trying to stay tethered to something just out of reach. Then I felt it, his hand, searching for mine under the blanket. When his fingers found mine, I froze. Just for a second. But I didn't pull away. He didn't grip. He just held on. Quiet. Present. I kept my eyes open, staring into the dark, letting the moment stretch. He was still facing her. But he wasn't letting go of me. Something clicked inside me. Not a break. Not a snap. A shift. I wasn't outside this anymore. I wasn't a bystander. I was part of it. He wasn't asking permission. He was holding on to me. And whatever came next, he wanted me in it. I didn't turn toward them. But I didn't turn away either. I stayed still, eyes open in the dark. The room went quiet again, but it wasn't empty. It was full. Dense. Like we were all waiting for something none of us could say out loud. Then I felt the blanket move again, this time, more deliberately. She was closer now. Careful, slow. Adjusting. I could sense her knee shifting, her arm gently resting near him. She wasn't rushing. She was settling in. Moving like she'd done this before. Like she belonged. A soft breath from him. Then one from her. My pulse quickened. Nerves? Anticipation? Maybe both. The bed creaked. Just once. Enough to let me know she'd moved again, leaning in, adjusting beside him. Her movement was smooth. Deliberate. Like she wanted this moment to stretch. His breathing changed, calmer, quieter. He was listening. Present. Focused. But she wasn't holding anything back. Each shift of her body said something. A quiet message. How much she'd missed being close to him. How natural it felt. How easy he made it. I still hadn't moved. But I wasn't just watching anymore. My hand slipped between his arm and his side, just resting there. His fingers found mine again. No squeeze. No pull. Just that same gentle hold. Like he was saying, I know you're still here. I listened to them. Felt the room change again. Her breath slowing. His attention softening. And then, all at once. Stillness. No words. No movement. Just a pause the three of us shared. I closed my eyes, not from shame. But because I was ready. I turned. The room felt thick, like it hadn't breathed in a while. She was still beside him. Calm. Present. Her presence unmistakable. He lay still, as though he didn't want to disturb the moment. I moved slowly toward them. There was no awkwardness. No hesitation. Just movement. Deliberate. Certain. I reached for her first. My hand brushed near hers. She turned slightly, just enough to acknowledge it. Our eyes met. Open. Honest. She understood. Even the parts one didn't say. Then I reached for him. My hand rested gently on his chest. He turned toward me. Our lips touched, briefly. Not urgent. Just familiar. Steady. His hand moved to the back of my neck, not to lead, just to hold me close. She adjusted again, making space. Not leaving. Just inviting. I moved closer. We didn't talk. We didn't explain. We didn't need to. We just fit. I found myself lying between them. Still. Present. Held. Her hand found mine again, this time, firmer. Sure. The room softened. The kind of quiet that doesn't ask for silence, it just holds it. No urgency. No rhythm. Just closeness. She adjusted. He shifted. I stayed still. And something began to build inside me, not sharp, not sudden. Just steady. Not from touch. Not from sound. But from inclusion. I was part of this. Chosen. I turned my face into the warmth between them. Let my hand brush hers. Let my arm rest across him. I didn't know where I ended and they began. And for once, I didn't need to. The silence deepened. But not with tension. With stillness. Weightless and whole. And in that pause, something inside me settled. Not loudly. Not dramatically. It just clicked. And I let it. Because in that quiet moment, surrounded by both of them, I felt seen. I felt steady. And for the first time in a long time, I felt whole. Sometimes the moment you feel most seen is the one you never expected. It wasn't about control or permission. It was about being invited in, and realizing you were never on the outside. Be honest. Do you wish you were there too? If you were, what would you be doing? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Your support means everything. Thanks for being here.